here's plank. Just going to describe it real quick. Most of you probably know what it is already. Plank, you're going to have your hands underneath your shoulders and your hands about shoulders width apart. You want your back to be really straight, so you don't want your butt in the air. You don't want to sag. You want to hold your core in tight. That's how you're going to work your core. And then you want to breathe in each of these poses. More advanced steps, you can lift a leg, and you can lift another leg. Just make sure you do it evenly, trying to keep your back balanced. So that's face down plank. 2 minutes again. If you get tired, which if you're new to plank, you'll probably get tired doing it for 2 minutes. You can go into very short rest breaks, but try to do the full 2 minutes. This would be a rest break into downward dog. And then back to plank again. So do that for 2 minutes and take as many rest breaks as you need. For side plank, if you're new to it, you might have to start with 20-30 seconds. The goal will be a minute on each side. We'll start on the right. So you want to have your feet stacked on top of each other, and then you want to have your hips up as much as you can. You can put your arm up like this, and then as you breathe in, try out arm to the side, and then opening up the chest, looking up if you can. And another variation too, to make it a little more difficult, is to lift your leg. So you can lift a leg, and again keep breathing. I'm not doing very good at it, breathing, but then you do the other side for 1 minute as well. Push your hips up, feet stacked, hand under your shoulder. You want to be pushing out of your shoulder, so you don't want to sag into it, you want to push out. Push up with the hips, arm out, open up, leg up. Alright, so from plank, you'll be nice and warmed up after you do all that. Really gets the blood flowing. You might even start to shake a little. Then we'll move on to yoga bicycles. This is one of my favorite core exercises. You can do it if you're traveling at a hotel, or you can just, so basically you have no excuse not to do it, because you can do it anywhere. Don't even need a yoga pad for it. So yoga bicycles, you're going to put your hands either behind your head or behind your ears, and then you want to have one leg up like this, so bent knee, other leg is going to be straight, and you're just going to alternate legs and alternate touching your elbow to opposite leg or opposite knee. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 100 of these. If that's too many, again, just start with less. Try to do 50. If 100 is really easy for you, try going slower and do double taps. So you're basically doing closer to 200 that way. Alright, after you've done 100 of those, you're going to move on to what I call boat ups. So in yoga, boat pose, you have your legs, if you're really flexible and strong, your legs will be straight up like this. With your hands, mine aren't straight, but your hands will be like this, out, palms open and up. I'm not as flexible as I'd like to be in my hamstrings, so it's hard to put my feet all the way up like that. So I do it like this. We're going to do 2 sets of 10. And in between, I'll show you a little break you can take. So boat ups, you go down like this, keeping your feet and your shoulders off the ground, and then back up. Try to keep your knees and your feet together when you do it. And try not to strain your lower back. So when you put it down, try to keep your lower back on the ground. So after you've done 10 of those, you'll come down, squeeze your knees into your chest, get a good stretch. I can feel this in my hip flexor. When I ran the Zion 100, I hurt my hip flexor, and I can definitely still feel it when I do that stretch, so that's good. So then you'll do another 10, again going down, and then back up. Alright, after that you should really be feeling it in your core. And And that'll be the perfect time, the perfect torture to do leg lifts, I call them. So leg lifts, you'll be on your back and start with your legs straight up in the air. Take a nice deep breath in, and every time you lower them, you'll lower them 3 times, and that will be 1 repeat. Every time you lower them, you'll take a nice deep breath. So I'm going to lower them a third, and they'll breathe. And then another. And for the 3rd time, I'll look up, hands out, feet just above the ground, and then feet back up. So that's 1. And that's 2. So those get a little tiring. You'll even feel it in your legs if you're tired. I already did a 1.5 hour yoga class today, so I can feel it a little bit. Those are great though. So you'll do the leg lifts. You'll do 10 of those, 10 repeats, and then we're going to move on to some arm balance stuff. This will work your core. We're going to start in downward dog. So we start in downward dog, and this is a good way to sort of cool down a little too. Okay, so sort of walk your legs out a little, like this. And then when you're ready, you'll lift your right leg up, and you'll bring it to your nose, curl in, and use your core to do that. Leg out, into your nose. Leg out, into your nose. Do that 10 times. And then bring your leg to your elbow, your right elbow, and out. Right elbow, and out. Right elbow, and out. And you'll do that 10 times as well. And that will be, then you will also move on and do it 10 times as well to your nose. That's extra credit though. You don't have to do it to your nose again, but if you want to, you can. And then you'll come back out to your elbow 10 times. Just make sure you use your core. So I think actually we're going to get to 410. We'll have to call it the 410 workout. Because you probably should bring your knee up to your nose, both your right and your left. So that's a little more than I originally counted. After you've done that, you can try some arm balances that go along with that. One that I really like, when you bring your knee up to your elbow, you rest it on your elbow, and your other elbow, you rest in your hip, and then you just lift your leg up. Keeping your face just off the ground, and you can do it on the other side as well. Elbow in my hip. It's a good arm workout. And then stretch in downward dog. You can walk your feet out again. All right. And then to end it, basically do 2 minutes of a headstand. If you can do a headstand on your own without a wall, do it that way because it's better. It'll also work your core a little. It'll get the blood flowing back that way. Into your head and into your torso. It's a really healthy way to end the day in general. So if you can't do a headstand on freestanding, then you'll do it up against the wall. Basically the same way I'm doing it here, but you'll have the wall to stop your legs if they start to flip over your head. So I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on that if you haven't seen my other video. You're going to interlace your fingers. You're going to go just above your head like this in a way that doesn't pull your hair. And resting most of your weight on your forearms, a little bit on your head. And you're going to walk your feet up toward your head. So I'll show you. So get my head comfortable, forearms on the ground, and then we'll walk the feet up toward the head until the torso is pretty straight above my head. And then the easiest thing to do from here is to just bring your knee in toward your chest and your heel toward your butt. Just very slowly. And then you have the headstand. It really works your core. So do 2 minutes if you can. And after 2 minutes, you can take a nice child's pose. Make sure you're breathing all the while. The idea is that you're training your breathing now while you're doing thoughtful, mindful exercises, so that when you're in a situation like a race where you're stressed out, you can take that thoughtful breathing into the race and use it to your advantage so that your brain doesn't get too fearful or worried about what's coming up, and you stay really in the present. So the breath is a key through all these exercises to bring in to your practice. All right, so that's our modified to 410 core workout, or we could just call it 10-minute core workout for runners. Enjoy, and your challenge is to practice this every single day.